Hello dear viewers, welcome to another video from the making of project series. In this video we will look at the making of this text effect that you see here, and this was really fun to make, so make sure to check out the geometry nodes video, the one in the top right corner or the one in the from the link in the description, because in this video we will look at the materials, the lights, and stuff like that. So before we start, as usual, I want to give a big thank you to all of you that are supporting this channel. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for commenting to the videos, thank you for watching the videos, and also a big thank you to all of you that are purchasing these project files that I post of these projects on Gumroad. This is also helping me keep doing these videos. Now back to this video. We have that cool effect that you saw in the demo, and I'm gonna start with the world shader. It's a very simple thing. We have this HDRI image that is controlled and animated. It's looking like this, as you can see, and you can download this exact image from the Polyheaven. You have the link also in the description. So apart from animating this value to fit the different stages of the animation of the project, nothing else is happening to this shader. So let's move to object shaders. The ground material is just a principal BSDF with the setup default values, default color. Only thing is changed is the metallic. This is a metallic shader, and that's picking up all the lights that we have in the scene. So we have these three lights that are responsible for creating this mood, and these lights that you see here. And as usual, they are parented to an empty, actually not parented, they have this track to constraint. So you can change the way they are pointing by playing with this empty, as you can see. So they will always point the direction that you want them to point. What I did with these lights, I played again, I animated the strength value to get this mood. If I were to go to, let's say, a different frame, something like this, as you can see, they go up to 150 watts in power. For this one, that is having this color that you see here. And if we look at the next one, this one also goes to 150 watts, and it has this color. And the last one, it's less intense, has 100 watts and has this color. Let me switch to another frame that has less geometry, so it's less taxing on the system. Okay, all three of these lights have contrast shadows enabled, and I increased the size a little bit to 0.5 to smooth the shadows. Now going back to the materials, all the materials from this setup. We have the squiggle parts, the one that you see here at the bottom. This one. So this one is a principal BSDF with a roughness a little bit increased and subsurface activated, and using this color. And in different lights, you will get different results. So let's say that I put this to 0.5. Okay, now you can see how this material looks like. It's a simple material, but if we switch to the glowing part, on the one on the top, it's more complex, because if we go to, let's say, make things easier on us, let's put just one letter here. Okay, and look at it from here, and I'm gonna play with the values here. If I play with the squiggle body glow, something like this, as you can see, we have this very interesting pattern going on, and that's done in the following way. We use a UV map using the UV map from the geometry nodes, and then we add this Voronoi texture. So if we look at this Voronoi texture here, and let me cut the displacement. So looking at the Voronoi texture, we get this pattern that you see here, especially when we pass it through the color ramp. Yeah, sorry about that. I was in the wrong material right now. So let me plug this one back. I was wondering why we can't see the results, because this is the glowing pin material. Sorry about that. Let's go to glowing squiggle. Okay, this one. It's very similar, but it's using the UV map that was custom made in Geometry Nodes. I show you how to do that in the Geometry Nodes video. And then if we look at this texture, it's giving this pattern. Passing it through the color ramp, we crush the values and you get this. And the way I isolated the tip was I got through a driver this value for the height. I took the geometry, got the Z value axis, and compare it with the height of the entire setup, and then add it to this one. And the reason I did that was so that when we look at the material, we get this interesting pattern on the walls, but on the top we get a straight continuous line. Without this result, if we do something like this, and we plug this one here, we will get this result, meaning on the top we kind of lose part of the effect because of this pattern. But by using this mask here, we actually get the result that you see. This muted node is another mask that I exposed from the geometry node, but I ended up not using it, but I left it there for you. So passing this entire setup through the principal BSDF, we have this principal BSDF that is taking part of the non-glowing parts, and this is a subsurface with this color and with this roughness, and the emission has these values that you see here. Both of them are mixed and they are using this mask that we saw here, and we end up with this beautiful result that you see here, that you can of course play with to your heart content by playing with this value here. You can make parts of it grow or not grow, as you can see here. And this mask that controls this effect is built, like I said, in geometry nodes, and it's taking care of switching the materials between this material and this material that we saw earlier. Going back to the pin part material, so let's go to a different frame where we get some pins. Okay, we have these pins that you see here, and if we switch to the world and increase temporarily the value a little bit, we can see the material better. And this material, it's composed of two parts. We use again the UV map from the geometry nodes, and then we do the dips on the surface, and we mix this by displacing the surface and using this subsurface principal BSDF node with this color. And let's look at the dips. If we go here, we get this effect, and that's achieved by using this Voronoi texture. And then I passed this to a color ramp and got this mask that I used for the displacement that has this scale, basically the default values. And then I used the same color ramp to play with the roughness, I just change the values to get these roughness values that you see here, 0.6 and 0.1 respectively. So basically the deep part are less rough than the outer part, and this is the final result for this. And if we look now at the glowing pin parts that I was showing you earlier, we can control again through the geometry nodes just how much of the pin is glowing, as you can see here. And that's deciding which material to use. This one with the glowing or the other one without the glowing. And the glowing material, again, it's using this Voronoi texture with these values, pass through this color ramp to get this mask. I also played for this one with the scale to get a more even scale for these pins. Otherwise, we get something like that. I did exactly the same thing for the other material. And then this one is used to create this mask between this glowing shader and this principal BSDF that is carrying the subsurface principled values. I also use this displacement here with the modified values that you see here to create a little bit of dims for the material when it's not glowing, because when it's glowing, it's not much that you can see, but when it's not glowing, you can see the result. So this is how I created this material that you see here. Of course, for all the materials that are using subsurface, you have to enable subsurface translucency. You find it here in the material or here in this panel for options. And that's kind of it for these materials. There are a lot of things going on in the animation, a lot of values animated, and that's not something that I'm going to go through, because this you can play as much as you want. I played with these values. As you can see, some of them are animated. I played with the lamps, and I also played with the world shader to also give it the animation that you saw there. And that's pretty much it for this project. Thank you for watching, and I really hope that you find this video inspiring and you use this knowledge that I passed on to you to create awesome stuff in Blender. So this is the end of the video. So happy blending and have a nice day. And of course, I wait you for the next videos and tutorials.